you just think, huh? Huh? One place you're not supposed to go is the grass. Go in the garden beds. Hey, good morning, friends. Welcome to Moxie Gardens. I'm Mike Toomey, and today we got a lot going on. Very cold. Very, very cold. I think it's like 6 degrees. Fun thing is the sun's shining, so that's always exciting. We got a couple things we're going to do. We're going to get the siding on. We're going to frame out the windows. We are going to put the overhang on our little shed. And most importantly, we're going to let the chickens out for the first time. I feel really bad for them. They're kind of cooped up, kind of probably get bored in there. So we're going to do that. I'm going to keep an eye out. I have seen a hawk recently a couple times, so we'll keep an eye on that, but it should be fun. So we'll keep an eye on them all day. So if you are a chicken lover or love to see the chickens out in the yard, stay tuned. We'll kind of break in and out however I decide to edit it, but we'll keep an eye on the chickens. We're going to get this little potting shed pretty much wrapped up today, I think, unless the weather changes and we start to get snow, because we got snow coming in tomorrow up to 3 inches. So should be a winter wonderland when we wake up, I suppose. So ready or not, here it is. Let's go get started. Okay, I just wanted to kind of stop here and share with you guys kind of the lighting that will be coming in here. Of course, the sun, it's around noon, sun's coming in almost from its highest peak down. If you can imagine, we have a bunch of these trees above us, so the light will just kind of twinkle in here, but we're moving in the right direction. Just wanted to kind of share with you guys what it will look like with the sun right here. I wish I'd have got out here earlier to share with you guys what the morning would look like. However, the morning sun's still coming clear up over here. We're in the summertime. It'll be back there. So anyway, we'll keep moving. Chicken progress is good. They're making their way through the garden. Okay, friends, coming together really is. We got that little awning on the top done. I've got a ridge cap that goes over the top, and it just kind of, it seals it, kind of like the top of a house. I need to put that in, and I think that's pretty close. We've got the windows framed out. Those two, I still have to do this. You can see it looks a little bit different than the rest if you're not sure what framing it looks like. But yeah, I think we did a lot today. We got a lot done. I need to rearrange the stones, and we'll just carry that all the way out to here. We removed our little whimsical gate. Got the 2 holes here. We'll backfill those. I'm glad I did not put the cement in that, but nonetheless, we got it done. We got most of it done. I really wanted to I thought I'd get a little bit more done, but you see on the back side, I wanted to get that done because I won't be able to do a video again until next weekend, weather permitting. When I say weather permitting, it was 2 degrees, I think, or felt like 2 degrees this morning. Basically, if there's not snow, I can get out here, not just for YouTube, but that's just what I do. I'll get out here. But we got a few things we need to button up still. You can see here, I've got a double 4x4 sitting on one another. I need to finish it off right there. So if you can tell, that's an unfinished spot right there. I just have a ledge there I just felt like it needed a ledge. So, and then we'll come over here. Again, I left these cracks in here. It's sealed now. I mean, we've got it in here tight, but I figure I can process different things here. The soil can fall through. And if I need to, I can take these 2 centers out and put some wire in there and then turn these long ways underneath so I can staple the wire to it. And that way we can have the soil, whatever we figure out here when we're doing it, filling anything in, and it'll drop down into a reusable bucket, which was supposed to be that one, but it's just a little bit too much in here, and it's pretty tight anyway. I don't know how that comes across in the video. Few other things I need to do. I want to get the weathered piece on here. I need to cut off the tips there, so square them off. But all in all, we did really good today, I think. I promised a little bit more probably in the video, in the intro, but I can't really even remember. That was such a long time ago. I can take weathered material and case out these 4x4s that are holding up our workbench. And then that gives it more of a weathered look and continue to, make it look cohesive versus new and old. The tops will stay the same. I could probably stain these 2 and try to get the tops and try to get them as close as possible, but we'll see come spring. I'm not worried about it right now. I just wanted to get the bones done. You can see here I need to finish off one more piece of wood going up this way. And what I do is when I have little spaces like that, I wait until I cut large boards and then start to piece back anything that I have. Just like, let me move this camera. So a lot of the boards that I've cut, the smaller pieces will go up here, and then the longer ones just like we did. And so because I have that weathered wood, we'll have one piece go here to here, and then from here to up there. And that's just because if you look at their fence, so that's a brand new fence, but the top and the bottom gets contact with soil and the leaves, water, so it deteriorates a little bit faster than the middle piece. And then the top, you got to imagine all the snow and the rain falls on top of it, squirrels, whatever. There's a lot of traffic, and so all the elements break down the top and the bottom, so I have to cut a lot of those off. So that's probably what's holding me up a little bit, is all the cuts. I can go back underneath and make this solid if I want, meaning I can come through here and put wood all the way underneath there. And then come spring, we can really start to kind of add some things. Remember we talked about in the videos, a couple videos ago, whenever I started talking about doing this, we can come back in and we can find things that will fit the theme of our garden. Just continue to put it in here and add it so we can go to antique stores and find little rust buckets here and there. And I've got a bunch of bird houses. You remember my wife's uncle Dennis, who passed away, he's gifted us a ton of bird houses. We can go in here and add some decorative bird houses and whatnot. But I think it's turning out great, and I'll use this not only for replanting and potting and those type of things, but I find myself using little tables. If you've watched all of our projects, I find myself using a lot of little tables here and there. Remember when I built those bird cages? We used a little table, and so the table's wobbly. It's got, anyway, this will feel more functional, and it'll be right off of our little greenhouse right here. If you missed the part, we got the inside done. I just got to come back and paint, and then we got the top underneath there, the roof done. I'm not going to paint outside anytime soon because the weather will not permit it, but we're going to move inside that greenhouse here before too long, because I can throw the heater on inside there and do all the things that I need to do to get that ready. I'll have to run electrical wire. I got to dig a trench all the way around the perimeter of my garden property and start to run wire in the ground. I got to dig a foot for the trench, and you got to get it down there, and I got to meet all the specs. But then we'll light up all of these dwellings that I have here, and then that way I'll have it all on a lighting system and heating system for this piece. And the fans will have I've got to run electrical to the chicken coop, so I have ventilation this summer. If you remember, we got them in September, so they were still at that age. They were still chicks, and by the time we moved them out there, they were feathered out, but they still preferred the heat. So the September, October heat was still something they desired. Now they'll be nesting next season come spring, and so we'll have more ventilation besides just the doors opening and the windows opening. So we'll have a little bit of a ventilation fan in there. And then Bella's Creations, we've got that AC unit in there. I got a TV in there. I still yet to share that with you guys, but it's pretty cool. Something that'll be fun and magical for grandbabies. I'll just run an outside light for this one. I'm not worried about it. That's where all of our lawnmowers and stuff are, but I'm gonna run outside lights to all this. Nothing bright, but we can start to run electrical. We can do Christmas lights and Halloween lights, and we can just make this little village come to life. I've got a few more projects up my sleeve. I still got to find a spot for my pigeon coop. I think I got it pretty much figured out. And if you're just tuning in, our pigeon coop was going to go right here. Didn't work, and so that happy little accident turned into this. We'll hang curtains here before too long if you've missed that, and it'll just be burlap bags. Jessie's off for a couple weeks from work, so I told her that she might be making a Facebook run to pick me up some burlap bags. But if you can imagine some burlap bags on there, I'll get this window side framed out like the other ones, and then it'll all tie in. I talked about how I will just use like 2 to 3 inch diameter tree branches that I will go and cut, just something similar to our little whimsical gate here, that depth or that thickness, that diameter. And I use that as curtain rods. And then someone said, hey, you could use rebar, that would look good too. And lo and behold, I still have some rebar from our lighting. Remember our lighting up here? So there's rebar under there. It might be too dark to see. And lo and behold, look, a freaking squirrel chewed that up. I'll be darned. Anyway, I can get the rebar that I still have, and we can run the rebar right through there. And then one last thing, if you can see, you see the cracks through there. You can see daylight on the other side. Right in there, you can see the daylight right through there. So what I'll do is I'll take the roofing black material, if you've ever seen them roof, and the same thing I used up here, and I'll I'll blanket the outside of that. It won't serve any purpose except for giving me a shadow effect. So any lighting that you can see through there will disappear, and so you will not see those cracks through there. And then when I put the siding up on the back side, it will just look like a house, a wall. So in your mind, this might be, when you step in here, this might be the back side of a house. And so there's the windows. Just put a little deck on the back side and a little workstation, but really all it is just faux. And that's the story, and I'm sticking to it. The good thing is I didn't have to have a permit for this. That's what's great. So now, last thing before we go. Remember we talked about making our neighbors disappear. So I'm going to step back here. So if you can imagine all these trees, when they're flushed out and it's full, you are not going to see the neighbors at all. Once our Crimson Queen and different hydrangeas leaf out next season and this really starts to come to life, oh my word, you won't even know that there are people back there, and you can just kind of get lost in our little village here. And so that's like really nice, and that was the whole point of this. So when we come around here, I know it's kind of an eyesore and right now because we've got hardscape everywhere and all my material got a sheet. The ground was so cold that I was kneeling on that, but yeah, I think it'll all come together in the end. And the vision that we started with last weekend when we started putting the stone down, turned out really well. The only thing is I changed the trajectory or the angle of our little work site here, and now my bricks are off just a little bit. So we'll come back, and if you can imagine, let me get one of these bricks here. Okay, so you can see that brick right there. We'll raise the soil up and the rock that's underneath. I'll come back in here, and so that stone right there will be the height of everything. So it'll all be leveled off. Like I said, we'll remove this, and then we'll just have a nice little flush walkway through here with the same rocks. And then we'll go back with ground cover where these holes are. There'll be hostas, and we'll just really make this real charming. Over here where this wagon wheel is, all that, we'll just put hostas and different things that can handle the north side of north facing shade. I think we'll turn this into something pretty charming. And the last little thing that will really bring this to life is I'll come back in spring and we'll start to white coat this, or maybe red. We'll use some type of color. We've got this white here. We've got the red coupe. So I've got plenty of material. We've got the yellow. I think yellow will be too much, but basically we're just going to brush it on there lightly and then come back and sand it. So there'll just be little thin, almost like it's really been weathered and sat here and forgot about for a long time. So we'll come back and we'll give it a little bit, just a tiny bit of color. Like I said, I'll probably stain our post and the bench right there, and then it'll all be pretty much blend in. It'll all be a color, and then we can do some lights right here that's hanging off of here. We can do Christmas lights and Halloween, and we can do all kinds of things, and we can come back in and start to add wreaths, and you know, all this can be uplifted to the next level. I just don't like to do partial, so I didn't want to just do a little bit here and then nothing. So next season we'll really go after theming for holidays and get ready for spring, and it'll be a lot of fun. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoy what we're doing, and if you do, help us hype the video. I guess that's a thing now, hype the video. So down there when you're watching it, if you're on your phone, just hit the hype, I think is what my wife said. Give us the thumbs up, share our video, and we will see you guys on the flip side. Bye-bye now.